Hi, I'm Phil Ashey from the American Anglican Council. I'm here to share with you about Sure Foundation. Sure Foundation is a congregational development curriculum that the American Anglican Council has designed to help churches grow. And there are three things I'd like to tell you about it. Number one, it's biblical. Everything we say, everything we do is rooted and grounded in Scripture, which is our ultimate authority as Anglican followers of Jesus. So we're not just talking with you about church growth principles or business models. We're going to give you lessons from the book of Nehemiah on the greatest strategic planning process that you can ever find, from the Gospel of John on how to reach people as Jesus did, in the same way that he did. And in so many ways, we're going to touch on Scripture as the means by which you're going to be inspired to go out and do the very things we're going to ask you to do. Secondly, Sure Foundation is practical. We cover practical questions that everybody who is involved in leading a church asks. How do you grow a church? How do you reach young families? How do you come up with a plan for growth? What about stewardship? How can we help people give more generously? How do we share Christ with our friends and our neighbors? What about the people in our neighborhood? Is there any way we can reach them? What about prayer meetings? How do we actually have prayer meetings in our church? How do we do adult education or children's ministry or youth ministry? All these topics you're going to hear about and more as you go through Sure Foundation. And you're going to hear about them from younger priests, even than me, who have been doing this work and growing their churches successfully, and who are co-teaching this and coaching with me. Thirdly, Sure Foundation is collaborative. It's not just for the rector or a few key people. It's for everybody in the church. As many people as possible that you want to draw into your ministry team, working together, reflecting on this material, working with your local coach to help you grow your church, and finding encouragement along the way from each other, from the Lord, and from your coach. So I hope you'll consider being a part of the Sure Foundation.
How firm a foundation, you saints of the Lord.
As a Christian, it's always you want to go out and you want to win the lost. But to actually systematically figure out who is it that's in my community, what do they need, how can I reach them in a systematic way has really brought about new thoughts.
We're located in an office park, and the church moved there several years ago and didn't know anything about the surrounding area.
It is very easy to look very insular in our ministry, to look at what's going on internally as opposed to what's going on outside.
There's a lot of people out there that are unchurched and waiting for us. It sounded just waiting for us to come, bring them into the kingdom.
So how do you avoid becoming like the culture or becoming irrelevant? See, that's the balance.
Going over this demographic information, we're seeing, first of all, we're going to have to pour over this quite a bit, but we're seeing that probably the best thing for us is going to be to concentrate on getting to the unchurched people in the neighborhoods that are surrounding our area. And that includes homeless.
As part of our Sure Foundation work, what we've done is we've begun to set goals, and thankfully we've set goals for how we will approach mission.
We were sitting here talking a little bit ago. We decided we're just going to invite everybody in the office park to come.
Probably the most important thing I learned was not to go in preconceived directions, to be open to how Christ will take you.
We've been every session, and it's just been building one layer on top of the other, and it's been real helpful.
I recommend it for everybody, but if you're in a church that you feel like it's just kind of stuck, or it's stuck, if you're a priest and you're kind of like, how do I get my folks doing the things that I preach and I teach and I'm trying, and it's just not happening, we're not growing, we're not seeing new believers come in. If you're in a church like that, this program, this series of courses is just what you need to kind of shake things up and get you moving in the right direction.